Yeah, got you. You skipped the ad. Why did you skip the ads? I got you. I got you. You skipped the ad. Why? Anyways, hello everyone. So that wasn't much of your time. Guys, the reason why I'm late, if I can just explain, I've been having multiple takes doing this video because I cannot stop laughing. I cannot stop laughing and I still have residues of laughing. If you hear me stuttering now and again, just know guys would say, hey, Gooby, go bird. The house is burning. And I am sure wherever Baloy is, he regrets recalling Stein because what was that? What was that, guys? What was that? Okay, anyways, guys, let's get serious and get into business. So let's go to the Knockout High Court, where the Senzo Mewa murder trial continues and Stein continues to testify lies on the stand that he himself was spinning this web, and it turns out the web that he was busy spinning, it was lies, and now he's caught on his own lies. So much so that he actually told the court that he can't do this anymore. And I'm like, come with it, Stein. Bring the tea, spill it. Why can't you do no more, sir? Lying. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. And I think he was this close to say, okay, here's the truth. The truth is, all of this that we are here for is a fabrication. That is why I resigned in the first place, because the SMPS no longer represents my moral standing. But he held himself back. He was like, And then Mnisi looks at him and says, on my side, you're excused. Oh my gosh. I knew that today we're going to have Baloy on the floor objecting. Not that his objections make any sense, because they are not going to make any sense. He will be doing it for distraction. And also, if ever, I'm not saying it happened, in case there was brown envelope, he needs to be seen to be doing something so that the person that paid will be like, but you were quiet. And so Rata as well, I'm like, what is going? I apologize, guys. I am so sorry. I've been trying my level best for the past, since what time? I've been look at my eyes red and I'm teary because I've been laughing, and I know I have to come back to you guys and give you an update. Anyways, let's go to Ngomezulu this morning. I saw some people a little bit confused what Ngomezulu is doing. I'm like, guys, to this point, you guys don't recognize the strategy. I mean, Ngomezulu, the whole state was looking at the bombshells going to be dropped by Ngomezulu, or at least Ngomezulu was going to be the powerhouse. They did not count on the man that actually made the threat when Pinky was on the stand and said, well, from everything that you have just told us, you have a PDF format that cannot be converted or tampered with, and yet we were given an Excel format of what's not in the in the PDF. And so after here, my client is going to open a case of fraud, defeating the ends of justice, and all the other stuff that he mentioned when he made that threat that got Baloy going, I ain't going to jail. And then Rata was like, Baloy, you better do something. How will give you an advisory call stay so that we avoid jail? To clarify, all that Stein was doing was corrections. You know, when you clarify something, you don't add other things on it. Or you just say that, okay, what is it that you don't understand? And I'll explain it. But no, he's coming there to add. And then you can tell that he is fed up. He's tired of this whole charade. He's very tired of it. So that is why in some points where he was admitting that, yes, this was a mistake, and Mnisi takes him to task about it. I'm going to come back to Ngomezulu. I'm going to be jumping a lot in this video in your update. I'm so sorry. And that is why Mnisi was like, listen, you had more than 5 chances to make corrections. And that is why if you go back to Ngomezulu's first question, this affidavit, was it done in a presence of somebody else or was it done by you? And that's when, what you call his name, Stein, you could feel his high blood rising. And then he's like, no, I did it on my own. And then let's go back to Mnisi towards the end of the day saying to him, you just mentioned in court that this affidavit, the last time you saw it was 3 years ago. And then Mnisi takes him to task and said, turn to page 83. I think it was, and then you could hear Sinsila Ushungula go Stein, because then he's like, yeah, I know what you want to say. You want to point to that my what do you call this? The stamp was in 2023, and then Mnisi acted as if he didn't. He's like, excuse me, turn to page 80. And then Stein is like, I mean, I don't have the page 83. He's like, okay, it's cool. You can have mine. And then he's asking for court martials. Why there are no court martials in that court is one thing I want to know, because the court martial is supposed to be on their feet. The moment a document is held up, they're supposed to already stretching their hand and connecting it either to hand it over to the judge, of course, with the permission of the judge, to the witness. And then it turns out that he is lying. Now, going back to Ngomezulu's question about who did you write this statement with, and he says he did it by himself, and yet he says the last time he saw it was 3 years ago. Talk about being caught in your own lies. And now he's getting all hyped up, and he's like, you are adding words in my mouth, which we're going to talk about those words added in his mouth, because there were no words that were added in his mouth. He's the one that said the statement the last time he saw it was 3 years ago. But no, the statement was only made last year. But the question now is, by whom? Who drafted that statement, handed it over to Stein and said, go to court and speak on this? Because he says when he was appointed, he was only appointed in 2021. Okay, cool. We are appointed in 2021. You did your analysis. Therefore, in 2021, you would have written that statement. I would agree with him there. But why is the deposition was only signed in 2023? If you kept working on it and shoving it away, working on it, shoving it away, that does not make sense, sir. That means I'm lying through my teeth. And when he's caught, suddenly now he loses his temper because because Mr. Mnisi has pushed him against the wall, and then he has no way to hide. That is why he said he's now tired of this. Okay, anyways, let's start with Ngomezulu again. I know. Ngomezulu, all Ngomezulu that was looking for was the privacy of Miss Khumalo's cell phone number that was it sought after. Did they ask Miss Khumalo her for permission so that they can do this analogy on her cell phone as well as on her personal information? Of course, if you think back from 2009 all the way to 2017-ish or so, when was Jacob Zuma what do you call it? What's the word again? Not abdicated. Okay, whatever, that word I'm trying to look for. I think 2017, right? If you look at 2009 to about 2017, what was happening in Parliament? What do you remember vividly that was happening in Parliament? I will tell you. Parliamentarians or lawmakers, our operative word here, lawmakers, were on each other's throats. Some getting kicked out, some of them being groped by security or bouncers of the parliament. And what laws were they making? What laws were being ascended? What laws? Nothing. Nothing was happening. That is why the Popper Act, or the Poppy Act, only concluded in 2001. And there are 3 different versions or 3 different dates. I was looking at it, I'm like, I remember there were no laws were being made. The president was not signing any bills into law. And that is why we have what we have today, that little confusion. But I thought, no, wait a minute. If a case like this, where I saw Rata getting a little excited because one of his relatives is the administrator of Poppy Acts, like, I can give you a number if you want to. And Mr. Ngomezulu, no, it's not necessary. But I am saying, Mr. Ngomezulu, you live in a constitutional democracy. The constitution of this country reigns supreme over Poppy Act. Now, let's go. You are correct about, what's her name? Kelly Khumalo's privacy or right to privacy, because the constitution of this country does give us that right. It's a fundamental a constitutional right that must be respected in Section 14 of the Constitution, privacy or privacy, whichever way you pronounce it. And it reads, everyone has the right to privacy, which includes the right not to have their personal or home searched. B, their property searched, that including your cell phone information, your cell phone itself. No, no. All right. C, their possession seized, or the privacy of their communications infringed. So every one of these provision and sub-provisions are basically agreeing with Mr. Mngomezulu, basically. That is why you need 205 to get into somebody's cell phone, do use analysis, etc., and so on, which Stein says, but the time when I took over this matter, it was already, the 3 years had already lapsed. And then we find out from Pinky that once a 205 has been issued, that request is archived forever. Forever, y'all. But Stein wants to run away from the fact that all the cell phones of Kelly Kumalo, they archived that data and it can be requested at any given time. What goes away is the record in the machines of Vodacom. I don't even know what they are called. Is it AB111? No, sorry, it's not. Whatever it is that is called. But once the 205 is requested, that record, it is archived and lives forever. And I thought Mr. Mngomezulu was going to harbor on that, but then you should have asked for this cell phone number as 205 because it's archived. It was requested in 2014 already. Interesting. But I think Mr. Mngomezulu should rely heavily on this when he is going to argue that Kelly Kumalo's privacy was violated by Stein by not asking for permission to get into her cell phone to retrieve the information that he received. I was like, okay, I'm very satisfied with that. That is when I saw people started going like, what is Mngomezulu talking about? No, the strategy is not Mngomezulu. The strategy is not the Ramusipili either. The strategy is Mnisi. That is why Stein's high blood pressure is so high to a point where he almost walked out of court. They did not count on Mnisi. And that is why what you have Baloy on the floor more than he did with Ramusipili as well as Mngomezulu. Because Mr. Mnisi is on the money with this one. He is on the money on this one. So it's quite interesting. More than 5 times he got opportunity to correct what's written on the statement that is incorrect. The state led its chief evidence with him. He should have said, wait a minute, but something is not right here. He did not do it. Then he got cross-examined by Mr. I think he could not. I think Mngomezulu couldn't because he was not there last year. But Ramusipili, by Mr. Ngumano, by Mr. Mnisi, and Mr. Msholol, he had the same opportunities to look and say, but then what are you reading? Because that is, I know, that is a mistake, but he did not correct it. Why today? Because if facing jail, if facing his pension being withdrawn, he's facing so many things. That is why he's getting all high, what do you call this? His blood pressure is rising. And some people think tomorrow he's not going to make it to court because he's going to be busy trying to get that high blood pressure lowered. We'll see. We'll see. So, which means then, this statement was not written by Stein. This statement was given to Stein, and then he just went through it or perused it, as they say, but did not understand what he was reading and what he was going to tell the court. Because last year, Stein was adamant about this particular tower that picked up what Zungu said about the 5 men that he were with at Basuto Hostel. And that tower in Basuto Hostel picked up these 5 men that stand accused of killing Senzomea. Today doesn't know the tower, but it was at a particular hostel. You know when you lie, When you lie, hey, convince yourself that your lies are truth by really sticking to that lie. Truth. Because Stein, it's true. The state, anyways, I've always said it, the state died and was buried a long time ago. I'm talking about this case. Died and buried a long time ago. 6 feet under. Well, then came Mr. Mnisi said, actually, now y'all are like 24 feet under. And today, Stein pushed them even further down to 36 feet. I mean, they are saying the fiery lake of burning sulfur right there. Like, that's the big H I'm seeing there. That's where this that's where this case is going. If you are thinking about it clearly, it's very, very interesting what was happening in court today. I'm so sorry, guys, for laughing. I have been doing this the whole day. It was also funny how when he was pushed against the wall by Mnisi, he was reminding Mnisi that he's a retiree. And I was like, I thought about that you are going to use your retirement as your defense. But you are recalled now, sir. You are recalled and you agreed to be recalled and that you were going to tell the truth and nothing but the truth and then on so on. And you are actually doing that. You're not telling the truth. So this whole retirement thing, sorry, it flew right out of the window when you accept it, okay? And the other thing that I also saw that he tried to do was that I cannot speak on Pinky's affidavit. No, we are speaking on your affidavit that is dated some month and some date in 2023, not in 2021. Now let's talk about Judge Rada. And he says, you are not going to accuse me of collusion. You know I have a right to sue you. Why were you winking at the witness? And then you pretended to be, what do you call this? In Zulu, we call it twice. He realized, ooh, did the camera see that? Did the camera see that? No, the camera, no, it didn't. It didn't see it. He was winking at the witness, meaning you are up this case where now you're going to throw us in jail. That courtroom is chaotic if it's not anarchy at its best. Courtesy of the judge. And it was quite interesting as well when Baloy stood up. I think it was the last time when he stood up and then he was leading his chief evidence while Mr. Mnisi is busy cross-examining. And then Mr. Mnisi then started addressing the court about the irregularities of the state, and the state standing up and using a bombastic word, acidic, that he's Mr. Mnisi is acidic. I know everybody went down their dictionaries like, what is that? Fortunately, I know what the word is, acidic, because I've heard it many a times before back in high school. You know how when you boys are being boys, especially at the time when they are a little bit rebellious, some are acidic, meaning just downright rude and downright confrontational, bashful, and all that stuff. It could even badger the teacher sometimes because, you know, the hormones are nice and high at that time. That is why we have school psychologists in boys' school. Okay, at least my school had a school psychologist and a social worker and also a nurse. We had those people. So you'll be taken there to get you examined. But before that, your parents will be called and interviewed by the principal of the school just to check if at home everything is all right. So that is exactly what we're having with Stay Like, sir, is everything all right at home? Are you okay? Should we? So Mr. Baloy accusing Mr. Mnisi of being acidic. Okay, Mr. Mnisi was like, I'm going to stand my ground here. And then all of this is happening at the courtesy of the judge. And the judge was trying his level best to defend Baloy on something that is incorrect. A wrong is a wrong. What's wrong with this judge? Hi, guys, in what kind of a lie that rebooting your phone is resetting it? I always reboot my phone, and when I reboot my phone, I still have the information on my phone. But if I had to reset my phone, I would have to go to factory default. Is it factory default? And then wipe out everything that my phone has everything. And it's as brand new as if it came from the factory. So Stein, he's trying to mislead the court, and with a rata that he says is sharp, he what? That was funny. That was so funny. And he says that's how you understand it, but this is no, rebooting a phone is switching it off and on. And sometimes when my network is not catching, I switch it off and I switch it on, and my network is back. But I still have my information. No. You know, when you lie, this is what happens. So clearly, tomorrow is going to be interesting when Mshololo takes Mr. Not even Mr. Mshololo. You know, watch how dangerous Advocate Mumalo is when it comes to statements. And if you think Advocate Mnisi was anything to go by today, go to Mumalo. That man is going to have a cardiac arrest if he's not careful, because Mumalo is a very, very slow when he attacks, obviously figuratively. And I don't think Stein will withstand that. Mshololo, hopefully she's going to be calm. Even if she's not calm and she's herself, she's going to finish him. That's what she's going to do. She will wipe the floor with Stein. He probably would leave the stand. Or maybe break, have a meltdown and then tell the truth. Because the truth needs to be told here. This case died a long time ago. The accused are people that never committed this crime on the 26th of October 2014. And the agenda is like, let's not let them go. They must be convicted, because that's the mandate, I think, in my own opinion, is Rata's mandate. Find them guilty. And it's not make sure. Is not make sure at all. Anyways, guys, that is what I wanted to come and tell you. I know there's more that I want to talk about, but my mind is just clouded with laughter. You see, I'm even sweating if you look at me clear, because I've been laughing, guys. I've been laughing. Other than that, let's see each other. But before you leave, make sure to like the video. Also, subscribe if you haven't not subscribed yet. Watch the ads, please. We're dropping a game. Yeah, that report comes every Tuesday, in case you didn't know. Every Tuesday, YouTube gives you a full report of your YouTube channel performance, and that includes everything, including ads. We dropped the game, like, dipped. So please do watch the ads. I highly appreciate you guys always for your support. I love y'all. You have no idea. Share this video far and wide. I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.